In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a basic game shell, I'm going to call it. It's not going to actually produce a game, but it's going to produce the outline or the background of a program that can support a very simple game. So let's just jump right into it. Obviously, the first thing you need to do is to create a new project, and we're just going to call this game shell tutorial. Like usual, you'll need to create a package. Just call this main. And within that package, we're going to create, this is our first class, is going to be game window. And in our class, we are going to create the window that pops up to play our game inside. So this is going to contain the main method, public static void main, string args, and in Java, the windows that pop up on the screen are called JFrames. So let's create a JFrame right now. JFrame, the window, let's call it, because that's kind of the way we talk about these things, equals new JFrame, and we'll give it a title of game shell. So you're going to need to import JFrame from Java X Swing. So Swing is the Java library that allows you to make graphical interfaces. And we need to set some parameters. So a window doesn't have any parameters set right now. So we're actually going to create, let's give it a size, but we want other parts of our program to be able to understand what the size is. So we're going to create a public static final int called width, and we're going to set that equal to 500, say, and public static final int called height, and we're going to set that to, I don't know, let's do 640 by 480 actually, 640, 480. And so now let's set the size of our window to the width and height. Now those public static final ints are going to allow other parts of the program to access what the game window size is without actually creating an instance of this class. That's the idea. That's why they're static. They're final because we want them to be constants, not changeable variables, and they're integers because they don't need to contain any decimal, because pixels are not, they don't have decimal values associated with them. So the window dot set size width height. We want to make this window not resizable, so we don't want people to be able to resize it. So window dot set resizable false. We want to set the location of it to the center of the screen, and a little trick to doing that is setting it relative to null, which centers it. I'm not totally sure why it centers it, but it does. And then we want to set the window dot set default close operation, JFrame dot exit exit on close. So when people click the X, we want our entire program to quit. You can imagine programs that run with multiple windows open, and you don't actually want the program itself to exit when a window gets closed. In our case, our game is just a single window, so when the window is closed, there's nothing else running, so we want the program itself to quit. And finally, once you set all the parameters, you want to say the window dot set visible, because you can imagine that there are times where you want a window to exist inside the operating the program that's running, but not to be visible to the user, and so you can change the visibility with that command. And now if we run our program, we should see a window pop up in a minute once it compiles. That should be 640 by 480. Looks good. I have this weird Smart Ink program running, which I'm going to close for the next tutorial. And it says game shell at the top, which is the title that we gave the window. Nothing exists inside the window yet, and that's going to be what we do in the next tutorial.